Why did Mace Windu refuse to become the Jedi Grandmaster? Greetings Acolytes and welcome back to the archives. Master Windu was one of the most well-known Jedi on the High Council, and one who exemplifies the kind of discipline and serious mind that a Jedi must have. While unfortunately going off of the deep end of rigidity, there was a reason to all of Windu's strict adherence to the Jedi Code. This was because right up until the beginning of the Clone Wars, Windu actually held the title of Master of the Order. We all associate Yoda with the position of leadership within the Jedi, and of course he did hold the position of the Grandmaster, but Master of the Order was another rank that was almost equally as important, a title that Windu held, making Mace and Yoda essentially equals. Mace Windu was a prime candidate of taking over as Grandmaster once Yoda stepped down, which would have happened much sooner had the Clone Wars not broken out. But following the Battle of Geonosis, Windu would willingly surrender the title of Master of the Order. So why exactly did he do this? What made Master Windu turn down one of the highest honors in the Jedi Council, and his closest chance to becoming the Grand Master? Well, join us and sit with us as we open up a holocron and discover the truth for ourselves. First, let's actually talk about the differences between the Master of the Order and the Grand Master. Windu held this title during the end of the Republic Golden Age, or the time which we normally refer to as the Republic Classic Era. The key difference here was that while the Grand Master oversaw everything within the Jedi, the Master of the Order specifically presided over the High Council. Another name for this position is more aptly called Master of the Council. The Grand Master had many duties regarding the overall state of the Jedi Order, whereas the Master of the Order specifically kept order and balance within the Jedi High Council. For most of the Jedi's history, this position represented the elected leader of the High Council, with it requiring a unanimous vote for all members to select one. A very good comparison to make is that if the Jedi Order were a large company, the Grand Master would be the CEO, and the Master of the Order would be the chairman of the board. Very frequently, the Grand Master also served as the Master of the Order in the lore though, but that is not always the case. Mace Windu, after joining the Council and proving himself to be an invaluable asset to the current state of the Jedi, got voted into the position despite being a younger age, with Yoda actually supporting this decision actively. Mace Windu was pragmatic, level-headed, and most importantly, strictly adhered to the Jedi Code despite all of the challenges that he faced in the past and his own inner darkness. His revelation of Vapad helped boost his reputation among the Council due to the fact that he used the light to conquer a traditionally dark side form, making it into something that countered dark side users entirely. But everything would change during the Battle of Geonosis, or more specifically, Count Dooku changed everything. At the beginning of the Separatist crisis, the Jedi only saw what was happening as a political dispute with Dooku. They had only ever known him as a Jedi that had not agreed with the way that the Republic was run. Dooku's decision to spearhead a separatist movement wasn't surprising at all, which was why when Padme was being targeted for assassination, Ki-Adi-Mundi insisted that Dooku was a political idealist and not involved. Mace Windu backed up this claim by reminding Padme that he was a former Jedi. Despite their differences and the times they ran aground with one another in the past, Mace Windu highly respected Dooku. He might have been a contrarian, but since the man had been Yoda's own Padawan, Mace Windu trusted that Dooku's decisions were always well thought out, even if Mace Windu did not agree with them. Although him leaving the Jedi Order had definitely blindsided Mace, despite all of that, Yoda still allowed Dooku to keep his lightsaber, and he was immortalized as one of the members of the lost 20 Jedi Masters that would leave the Order. Windu continued to hold high esteem for Dooku even after he was officially no longer a Jedi, and refused to believe that Dooku had the capacity for murder, or that he was capable of starting a war and killing Jedi. In Windu's mind, Dooku was the penultimate member of the Jedi right behind Yoda. Mace Windu was changed though following the Battle of Geonosis. When he showed up to stop the execution, he still carried vestiges of respect for Dooku by pointing his lightsaber at the throat of Jango, targeting Padme's confirmed assassin rather than the Count himself. This moment proved that he wanted to give Dooku one final opportunity, but then, the Count proved that he was willing to murder them all with his droid army. The moment hurled a meteor-sized rock right into the foundation of Mace Windu's perception and his trust, obliterating it to pieces. And from this point forward, Mace Windu would forever regret not killing Dooku when he had the chance. Mace Windu would never forgive Dooku, nor himself. Dooku, the Padawan of the Jedi Mace respected above anyone, was a traitor, not only to the Republic which they had served as the Jedi, but the very foundation of everything that it meant to serve the light side. The idea that one of their own had fallen to the dark side and was now threatening the safety of the galaxy was too much for Windu to allow. It was the ultimate offense, and Mace wasn't going to take it lying. Following Geonosis, Windu stepped down as Master of the Order, deciding that he wanted to take a more active role in the Clone Wars as a general, to right his wrong on the field of war. And because of this, he could not fulfill his duty as Master of the Order on the front lines, and didn't want to be bound to Coruscant when Mace desired to go out and bring an end both to Dooku and the war. If the Sith had truly returned, then Mace surmised that his form, Vapad, was a weapon gifted to him by the Force itself to destroy the Sith. While not confirmed, it's easy to theorize that Mace may have subconsciously believed that he was the one meant to stop the Sith. Mace now knew that Dooku was a Sith Lord and had connections to the one that they were looking for, and it was Mace's job to find him. But he couldn't do that if he were stuck on Coruscant leading council meetings. We here at the archives have been very hard on Mace Windu in the past, mostly because of his rigidity and treatment of Anakin. However, we can say that Mace Windu genuinely cared for the Republic and the safety of its citizens. The Revenge of the Sith novelization perfectly encapsulates Windu's patriotism as a Jedi. His very heart beats to the drums of the Republic's prosperity. If that prosperity wanes, Windu feels as though his own life force will weaken with it. As a Jedi, he takes the duty of guarding the peace and justice of the Republic as not just his job, but his entire reason for being, his purpose. There was no way he could not go out and lead an army on its behalf, even if it made him a soldier. In Mace Windu's mind, this was peacekeeping, and he was willing to do it. Because of this, he surrendered the title back to Yoda, who became both the Grandmaster and the Master of the Order, mostly staying behind on Coruscant to be an advisor to Supreme Chancellor Palpatine over the course of the war. However, despite officially stepping down from the position, Mace Windu now held a great deal of esteem within the High Council, almost to the point where he and Yoda pretty much shared the prestige of the Grandmaster. Mace Windu may not have had the official title, but all of the council members continued to treat him as though he was still the Master of the Order and their leader. We can see during the hologram council meetings, Windu was still one largely directing the proceedings. While this could be just a force of habit for everyone present, it's clear that when the council is in session, Windu is presiding. Yoda was essentially grooming Mace Windu to take over as the Grandmaster before the war. Yoda was getting quite up there in years, and likely would have stepped down very soon had the Clone Wars not began. We can see in the early days that Yoda had given Mace Windu a lot of power and responsibility, which Mace was using quite effectively. But Windu turned down the position, not caring about furthering his own career until his duty as a peacekeeper was taken care of first. His duty to the Republic, not his own esteem. Knowing Mace Windu's character, it's understandable that he would not feel comfortable taking the highest position in the Jedi with his duty as a Jedi still undone. As long as the Clone Wars raged on, and the Sith went unchecked in the galaxy, Mace Windu would stay where he was, and where he could find them. This also provides us some insight into why Mace Windu was so hasty to kill Palpatine. He just couldn't let the Sith menace continue any longer once he had found it. But anyway, my friends, tell us your thoughts on this. And in other holocron openings, we plan to explore exactly why Mace Windu refused to arrest Palpatine and wanted to execute him there, as well as why many Jedi lost faith in their Grandmaster in Yoda over the course of the Clone War, and believed that he was becoming senile, old, and very dangerous. As always, my friends, thank you for sitting us today with our holocron opening, and as always, may the Force be with you.